Welcome to Channel 21 News. I'm your host with the most, Iona Frisbee, and here with me today is my co-host, Chris P. Bacon.
Thank you, Iona. Now let's get right into sports. In the world of soccer, Gao Hongbo was recently removed from his coaching position for the Chinese soccer team after losing 0-2 to Uzbekistan. And in the Middle East, the Iranian people have been ordered not to mourn at the football match against South Korea for the religious day remembering the death of Ayman Hussein. And for Down Under in South America, a World Cup for clubs is involving top European teams, Chinese Super League champions, and the best teams from South America. This is in serious consideration by FIFA.
Thanks, Chris. Here in China,
It's pronounced China.
they're still feeling the effects of the super typhoon Morontai after many lost power and roads were flooded over, making travel through certain parts of the country impossible. In other news, leaders here in China believe that the U.S. political system is flawed and that their one-party system is a more efficient one. They have been trying to do this by using every presidential election to demote the American democracy, and this year has been their most aggressive, with the release of the recording of Donald Trump bragging about his sexual assault in 2005 and Hillary's use of private email servers, as well as the speech she gave to banking and finance audiences. Another headline that has been quite popular for meat lovers: China recently lifted a 13-year-old ban on the U.S. beef. This ban started in 2003 when mad cow disease appeared in the U.S. in fear of bringing it into Chinese borders. This will help boost U.S. economy due to China being the second largest beef buyer in the world, and they've been importing 10 times the amount of meat as they did 5 years ago. That's all for news in China. Back to you, Iona.
Thanks, Veso. In Siberia, the Pallas cats get their own national park. These cats have become endangered and are poorly understood by the science community, causing researchers to create a 14-square-mile natural reserve for the felines. This reserve is located within Salyugimsky Nature Park in the Altai Mountains, as these cats live in the rocky steppes of southern Siberia, Mongolia, and China. Now let's head over to the Middle East, where Dill Pickle is reporting live.
We're in Saudi Arabia, where it's 130 degrees, and it seems that they have had a fallout with their ally Egypt, who they have halted oil supplies to. This is because of a political disagreement between the two nations, but it is unclear of what they disagreed on. Normally 700,000 tons of refined oil products are shipped over to Egypt every month, which is hurting the Egyptian economy. Now let's head over to Israel to see what's going on over there. Here in Israel, people are mourning over the death of Prime Minister Shimon Peres, who died on September 28th. He died at the age of 93 after suffering from a massive stroke 2 weeks before, taking a turn for the worst after making progress in his recovery. He was a Nobel Prize winner for forging a peace deal between Israelites and Palestinians, and he was a top leader in the country for decades. In other news, Israel is in a food fight over kosher licensing. Kosher is describing foods that are under Jewish dietary law, where all foods are inspected before they are sold in the public. Chief Rabbinate is a religious leader who controls most of the food regulations, but some businesses have gotten certifications that allow them to regulate their own food products with kosher. This has caused an issue for Chief Rabbinate, as he has a monopoly on the food industry until the certifications were released, allowing companies to monitor themselves with periodic inspections. I would say that it seems that they are in quite the pickle. Back to you, Iona.
Thanks, Dill. I've just got word that somehow Chris got to South America to report live to us. Chris?
Thanks, Iona. I'm here in Ecuador, where they are still recovering from the earthquake that has killed over 200 people and injured more than 2,500. It had a magnitude of 7.8, leaving many people without homes. The U.S. is sending military assistance to help with the tragic event. In other news, South America's weather has been hurting crop productions, causing them to increase their imports on U.S. crops. They have caused a 70% increase in corn exports and 27% increase in soybean exports for the U.S.
Thanks, Chris. I'm still not sure how you got down there so quickly. For the last story of the day, the real-life Paddington bear is facing extinction. Yes, that's right, the bear that the popular kids book is based on. The spectacle bear is under threat of extinction as its population levels have dropped to 4,000. These bears were often killed by South American farmers trying to protect their livestock and by trophy hunters. It's predicted that their population will drop 30% in the next 30 years if something is not done to protect them. That's all the time we have for today. Tune in tomorrow for more news. I'm Iona Frisbee.
I'm Crispy Bacon, signing off. And this has been Channel 21 News.